Hello, I'm here to talk about the movie 12th Fail Restart. Spoiler alert. This movie revolves around 12th grade fail who actually wanted to achieve success, who wanted to pass his 12th grade by cheating, but then police officer comes to the village. The village name is Chambal, and the headmaster of the school thinks it's like a part of their culture. And then this boy, after after going through a series of events in the early stage of the movie, and he wants to become a DSP in the police department. And the cop says that the cop who told him to the whole class to stop cheating told him that that boy has to stop cheating if they want to win, if he wants to become a police officer. And the story goes on. He goes through a lot of failures. His friends who wanted to become the IPS IAS officers actually takes him to this place for training, and then they fail repeatedly, and then they motivate him to become success. And then he meets a girl who gets into infatuation with this guy, the hero guy. And then and they fell in love, and then she motivates him to be the IAS or IPS officer that he wants to be. Then because if he becomes an IPS officer, and until that point he never thinks that IPS is above a DCP or DSP, whatever rank he was aiming for. And if he wins like that, then it's a win for the whole community, whole village of Chambal. And then his friends will win. The people who trained him will win. You know, it's kind of a collective effort. And then the hero character goes through a lot of issues, lot of troubles, pay issues, father issues, family. There's no income, and then his grandma died. He wasn't aware about it, but then that scene was captured so beautifully, because usually when somebody in such movies, when a death happens and when somebody is not aware about it, then it creates a lot of dialogues, melodrama stuff. But his sister character was silent, and then the camera was on her first, and then showed him so that he could ventilate his emotion without a single word. That was beautifully done. And then he had to work in flour mill, and then finally his friends decided to let him train only, don't do anything else. And even he cleared the prelims, he cleared the, like, I like the idea of him failing, because in the second or third attempt, I think, instead of tourism, he wrote everything about terrorism. That actually surprised me. I mean, not surprised me, but because he was actually trained to, he wasn't from an English speaking background, or he wasn't aware about the spelling, the word as it is, what did it mean, I recall my IELTS writing exam, because when I was practicing, one of the questions I got was, people in your country, to stay healthy, they need to have good food, practice exercise, and follow diet, etc. So what do you think the people in your country should do? The opposite of that question came from my exam. People in your country are not healthy because of they are not doing these kind of things. So what, in your opinion, they should do to stay healthy? So that's like an easiest answer. Like easiest means there are every chances that you can fail because you think it's so easy. Overconfidence can happen, and then finally when he when he clears this and he goes for the interview, after all this struggle, almost lost his girlfriend, fought with his friend who brought him to this place because he spread rumors about him and his girl, and so many things happened. And when finally during the even at the interview stage, the chief interviewer was very stubborn. He wasn't appreciative at all, because the guy who had failed, and then he's from a Hindi medium, and then he actually cheated. He was very how do I say it? He was very plain in his language, whatever he said was very honest and truthful, and the chief interviewer was very arrogant, and then he kind of tagged Manoj. I remember his character, Manoj, as a kind of an arrogant, hopeless guy, but the rest of the interviewing panel wanted to give him a chance because they think he is a very passionate, and there's no chance that Manoj could be a corrupt person, because they need people like Manoj in this country. Otherwise, there's no point in conducting IAS and IPS interviews. And finally, he gets what he wants from a 12th, and at 12th fail to an IPS officer, and then he goes straight to the original police officer who actually told him not to cheat. And then I kind of realized the fact that it's a real life story of Manoj and Shraddha and everybody else. It's a very truly inspiring story, another realistic story, and Vikrant Massey did an extremely good job. Extremely means extremely good job of expressing everything that was really good needed for a movie. In one area, during the interview, even though the chief interviewer said, "You are not selected, you are a hopeless guy, you won't be in," and blah 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 things, and then he said he deserves more than a person who got into IAS IPS exams under the luxury of good food, good home, and all. And he could have easily said those things that he went through. He could have got the sympathy, right? But Manoj never said a single word that could easily grab someone's sympathy. He just was sticking to the facts, and why he wants to do this, and the poem he said at the end, like that's what movie is all about. He could have easily bargained, pleaded for sympathy from this interview panel, but he stood his ground. That was a brilliant making by the creators, the director, and the scriptwriter. Another realistic movie from Hindi, and I really loved it. It's a must-watch Hindi movie, and for the fact that I have seen Vikrant in another movie, I don't really recall, but most of the cast in this movie are new for me, at least. As I said in my previous review, Hindi never comes up with the already established star cast for realistic movies, because then the movie becomes another thread altogether. The focus will be on the star cast. The story might change, and then some dancers will come. It's all, and then literally he embraces the idea of starting his academic life, and then UPSC IPS IAS exam is considered to be one of the toughest in the country, India. It's like a hell. It's even more hell than what you say in 3 Idiots, trying an entrance exam for becoming an engineer. So it's a very good movie. It's got an IMDb rating of 8.9 and Rotten Tomatoes has given 91%. It's a well-crafted movie, and congrats to Vidhu Chopra, the director, and whoever wrote the script. I don't know whoever wrote the script. It's a fantastic, great watch. Okay, thank you. Bye.